What's going on, everybody? Great morning. Great morning, YouTube. I want to know, are you about that single life? Like it, love it, hate it. If you're single, then you know what the single life is like. Here's what I want to let you know, that there is hope in you trying to figure out where do you go next. Great morning, Sheri. How you feeling, baby?
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, everybody.
Good to have everybody here. Listen, for those of you guys who are just jumping in, my name is Glenn P. Brooks Jr. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach. Sitting here next to the lovely light skin.
Sheri Brooks Jr., author, speaker, relationship, and life balance coach.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So we got a little something playing in the background. Get ready to go live. Go ahead and let this thing get ready to go, guys. Listen, if you are single, I want you to put "I'm single" in the chat. If you are single, I want you to put "single" in the chat. That's what's up. That's what's up. Got a little Larry Blackman happening. You got to get up out of here before they shut us down on YouTube and or on Instagram. Listen, guys, I'm excited. We don't have a whole lot of time today, so we're going to kind of jump right into today's content. And I want you guys to really share this out to as many people as possible. Z, good morning. Teresa, good morning. Karen, good morning. If you are dating, can you do me a huge favor and tag your guy? If you are dating, can you do me a favor and tag your man? I need
Or
some men
tag
in
your
the room.
girl.
If you're a man in the room and you're
Tag your
dating,
lady.
tag your lady friend. Tag him, tag him. Tony, what's up, man? We back on that subject talking about the single life.
He said he's a single flamingo.
Single flamingo. I ain't mad at you. Listen, flamingos don't do well single. I'm just telling you that on the front end. By nature, flamingos do not do well as singles. Before we get started, guys, if you know your animal, put it in the chat. If you know your animal, put it in the chat. If you know your animal, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. If you know what your animal is, I am a flamingo lion. That means that socially I show up with a big mouth, always the party, the life of the party, right? When it comes to decision making, I am 80% lion. That means I jump out there and I make decisions really quickly without even thinking about it, unfortunately.
Right. And I am a turtle chameleon, which means that as a turtle, I am a strategic planner. I am very detail oriented. And as a chameleon, I'm adaptable.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
Highly supportive as a chameleon.
yes.
She's the person that really is the one that you want to run the program because she's going to make sure that everything is in place. I'm the one that's going to kind of get everybody to the party
Right.
and excited about being there.
Right.
You're the one that's going to create the event.
Right.
And I'm the one that's going to execute it. So if you don't know what your animal is and you want to know, put me in the chat. Do me a favor, as a matter of fact, drop your email address or DM me on Instagram. Maybe drop your email address for me and I will send you a link. There is a cost associated with this disc assessment that we give you, but we're running a special for that right now, and it will be something that's well worth your while. Enough of that stuff. Let's get ready to get into it today, baby. Today we are talking about how to pick the right person for you, how to pick the right person for you. And so, for those of you guys who don't know, Sheri and I created an online relationship academy. It'll be 3 years at the end of the month.
Yes.
3 years at the end of the month, we created an online relationship academy to serve people who are trying to grow their relationships intentionally.
Right, right. It's called Marriage Maps, the Maps Relationship Academy, and MAP stands for Marriages and Parenting Successfully. And we started this online academy because we've been coaching people for years dealing with relationship issues, but we realized there was a larger group of people outside of our actual physical circle who wanted to have healthy and functional relationships. And so we created this online academy so that we could meet with couples, we can meet with singles, we can meet with parents.
Yeah.
We also meet with men and women individually to help them focus on relationship issues, on how to grow their skill set to be able to have healthy and functional relationships.
Listen, guys, I'm going to talk about a couple of things today, and we're going to lay this out over the next couple of weeks. We're going to be talking about these subject matters because I think that when it comes to finding the right person, Sheri, if you don't get this part right, you're just going to screw it up. And I don't know if you can admit it, and I can, but if your picker has been broken in the past or it is broken currently,
Right.
I want you to put me in the chat. If your picker has been broken in the past or is currently broken, I want you to put me in the chat because here's what I know, babe. A lot of us think we know what we want until we pick it, and then we realize, oh my God,
Right, right. And so when he talks about your picker, if you've been in relationships in the past that, and I don't want to say you regret it, but you realize that that person was not the best match for
Some
you.
of y'all actually do regret it. I'm sorry, you do.
Some of you do.
I understand.
But if you have been
No
in a
judging.
relationship in the past and you realize now, looking back, that that person wasn't the best choice for you, that there were some things that you saw that maybe you ignored, there were things that clearly you guys were not, you may have been attracted to each other physically.
Yeah.
But you guys clearly were not on the same page, and there were some things that had you known before, you would not have gone down that road with. And so, if that's the case, then your picker has been off. Your picker may still be off.
It may be broken, right?
Yes.
Now, the other thing is, I don't know if you have found yourself picking the same person over and over and over again. They're just in different bodies, right?
Right.
And so, as coaches, one of the things that we help people to understand is that you have a part to play in that process. And as much as people think, well, there are no good men out here or there are no good women out here, I beg to differ. I found one, right? And I wasn't looking for her.
Right. Right.
Let me just say that and drop that right there. I found the person that I'm with now, my wife, when I wasn't looking for her.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because, guys, listen, I had some work to do on myself before I had continued to keep picking. And a lot of times, particularly, babe, when you get out of long-term relationships, you just want to get back into the flow. You're lonely. You're feeling like, you know what, it's wintertime. Everybody all booed up. Everybody got their little, whatever they call it these days. I don't care what the name is. You are just lonely and you want to be with somebody, and I get it.
You're a serial dater or a serial relationship person.
Yeah, and the challenge with that is that if you don't correct what happened the last time in you, mm-hmm. then everything will be off. So today we're going to kind of lay it out, baby. How to pick the right person by first understanding who you are.
Right, and I think that that's key. I think, as Glenn was saying, when you jump from relationship to relationship to relationship, and you don't take that time to do some self-assessment, to look at yourself and identify what you could have done differently, what your errors were in that relationship, because we're very quick to point at the other person. Well, they did this or they didn't do this, and it's because of them. I dare say most relationships is not all 100% one person's fault.
I learned.
When a relationship ends, even if you only were responsible for 2%, you need to figure out what that 2% was and work on that on yourself so you don't repeat the same thing again.
Yeah, my mother used to always say that where two people are involved, it's never 100% one person's fault.
Right.
And what I mean by that, it doesn't mean that someone couldn't be a victim or you hadn't been victimized or whatever the case may be. But oftentimes, if you know the signs to pay attention to, mm-hmm. and you pay attention to them, and then you do something about that which you see, mm-hmm. you will find yourself less likely to be in a place where you're being victimized, taken advantage of, or now you've allowed your feelings to be so far out there that now you'd rather just let the thing keep going as opposed to killing what works. My word for this year, babe, in every aspect of my life is scalability.
Right.
If it's not growing, I don't want to be a part of it. And that includes inside of me. Mm-hmm. So if I'm not growing, I don't want to be a part of me. Right now, it's day 13 or 14, whatever, day 13 of a 21-day fast that we're on. I haven't had sugar in 13 days, right? No kind of sugar, no carbs, no refined sugar, no processed foods, no none of that. And my clarity has gone to a whole nother level. And what I need in my life more than anything else is clarity. I need to know what I don't know. So with that being said, I want you guys to center your mind. Here are 3 things I'm going to ask you. Do you know about yourself? Mm-hmm. There are 3 things I want to ask you. Do you know about yourself? And if somebody could do me a favor, put these 3 things in the chat. And we're going to talk about it for a little bit today. And we'll get to probably the top 5 or 6 things that you need to know when it comes to picking someone else in terms of being with you. So number 1, I want to know, do you know what you value? Put that in the chat. Do you know what you value? Now, anybody in our MAPS Relationship Academy has heard us talk about this stuff before. If you want to be a part of that academy, do me a favor, go to www.thecrcoach.com. Nikkei, maybe you could put that in the chat. Marlon, good to see you this morning. If you could put that in the chat, www.thecrcoach.com. CR as in constant relationship coach.com. Put that in the chat, because at that particular point, that will give you the ability to sign up for a free discovery session with us, and we can see if you're a fit for our Relationship Academy. We're doing a vision building training this month, and it really would be super dope if you were a part of that, to help you build the kind of vision you need for a relationship that sustains. So number one, I want you to ask yourself is, do you know what you value? We got a lot of people that put that in check.
Right, and values are not what you like.
Please say that again for the people in the nosebleed section.
Right, values are not your likes. So if you like football, that's not necessarily something you value.
Right.
Your values are your inner, the things inside of you, what make you up, the things that are most important to you. They're non-negotiable.
Right.
Those are the things that, like for me, values are integrity, it's justice, it's family. Those are things that I value, that I will go to bat for no matter what the situation is. Those are non-negotiable for me.
Exactly. And so again, when Sheri says it is, I let people know, and I help you when it comes to identifying what you value. Values are what you do.
Right.
It's not what you say. Mm-hmm. People say, well, I value my health, but they eat poorly.
Right.
People say I value money, but they spend uncontrollably, or they cannot save a dollar.
Right.
So I want you to understand this is what you do. It's not what you say. Does that make sense?
Right.
So I want you to put Eric Jones Jr., good to see you. Edith, thanks for putting that in the chat. So the question is, number one, do you know what you value? Number two, do you know where you're going? What is your vision? Do you know your vision? Put that in the chat. Do you know your vision? Go ahead.
Right, and as Glenn stated earlier, within our MAPS Relationship Academy right now, we're actually one of a series dealing with vision and how to identify your vision and how to create it and make it plain so that you know where you're going. As an individual, as a family, whatever the situation is, but being able to identify what that is and how to build a vision to get you from point A to point B.
This is the year of 2020, guys, and a lot of people are saying, well, this is the year where we can see clearly now. Can you? Like, that's nice to say.
Right.
But can you see clearly? Here's what I know. Every single year, when I go for a new eye exam, I have to retake an exam. When I go to get new glasses, I have to retake an exam before they'll give me glasses. Because what they want to know is that, can I really see clearly? Has my vision become more impaired, or has it improved, or has it stayed the same? That will determine what kind of corrective lenses they put in these glasses. Most people think because they can see that they have vision. And here's the problem. That is short-sighted.
Right.
At best, it's short-sighted, guys. So when Sheri and I end up at 21 years in a row, growing in our relationship, it's getting better and better as the years go on. That's not an accident.
Right.
That was done on purpose. We built it to do that. Does that make sense? And so what I need you guys to understand is, when you understand what your vision is and you can get super clear on where it is that you are going, it helps you to not be deterred by the fools that show up in your life that are going somewhere you ain't going, but because they cute, or because they making the kind of money you always wanted somebody to make, or because y'all hear how surface it gets. And I don't care how old you are, that's a thing.
Right.
That's a real thing.
Right. We get caught up in the esoterical things and don't focus on what's really important to us, because it looks nice, or it's going to fit this image of what we think a relationship is supposed to be. But you don't focus on the things that are your core, and that cuteness, all that stuff, that fades.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, even money. I mean, a person being financially stable, what if the market changes? What if they lose their job? Anything can happen if you guys don't share the same values and aren't on the same vision. You guys aren't going in the same direction. That's going to be a train wreck waiting to happen. Sorry.
No, you keep talking, man.
Right. And so, I mean, I think that we get caught up in the exterior things and are focused on, what we want marriage to look like, versus dealing with who we are and who is going to align with us at our core. So
for those of you guys who are just jumping in, Erica, it's great to see you. Happy New Year, sis. Great to see you. I'm going to go back over it. Number one, we're talking about that single life. Talking about here at the top of 2020, what would it look like for you to pick properly? What would it look like for you to pick the person that you're supposed to be with? Here's what I'm going to tell you 100% of the time. That stems from who you are.
Right.
It has nothing to do with them.
Right.
Let me say that again. Picking properly stems from who you are, how aware of that you are, and how willing you are to stand flat-footed in your truth as to who you are. Does that make sense, guys? So now we're giving you guys three things that you need, three questions you need to ask yourself. Number one is, what do you value? Number two is, what is your vision?
And number three.
And number three is, what does the victory look like?
For you.
For you, not the relationship.
Right.
Not the, oh, we're going to have a big house in the country or in the city or a loft or wherever we're going to try. No. Mm-hmm. What does the victory, what does the finish line look like for you personally?
Right. And that's, for us, one thing we said very early was that we wanted to grow old together. That we wanted.
That was a whole vision.
That this was it.
Yeah.
We were not, divorce was not an option. We were going to make this work. We were going to be together to the end. So victory was us going through whatever we had to go through, no matter what challenges came, we would work our way through it, and then we would still be together at the end of the day. And so for us, that was a victory because we both have been divorced before. I've been divorced twice before. We both know how to just call it quits and walk away.
Yeah.
But we've determined victory for us is not to do that again.
And I want y'all to understand, when Sheri say for us, that was for us as individuals. Mm-hmm. So I, as an individual, had come to the conclusion, I'm not doing this no more. Right. I'm not doing this like I did it the last time. Right. That didn't work. I screwed that up. We was watching Kevin Hart's documentary last night on Netflix. Great documentary. And I love how he just owns his crap. Right. I love how he owns his mistakes. Mm-hmm. And he says, listen, I screwed that up. I'm not doing that anymore. What does it look like to correct it? And one of the things that I know for me is that I recognize that in my previous marriage, I was probably 98.9% the culprit. I had a problem. And we don't even have time to go into my dirt because I talk about that loudly often, particularly in our Relationship Academy, so that you guys can understand. Ain't no shame in my game. Because at this point, I've got to learn from those mistakes. If I'm going through something and I am failing at it, here's the choice I'm going to have to make if I'm going to grow. I have to choose to fail forward.
Right.
You're going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship is not going to go exactly the way you prove. Sheri and I have had many L's within our relationship. Mm-hmm. But the reason why we're able to weather those storms, guys, is because we individually came to a conclusion that victory looked like, for me, the next person I get with, I'm growing old with that joker.
Right.
So she already had, that was her vision when we got together. Right. And I was like, oh, yeah. We talk the same language.
Right.
Does that make sense? Right. So go ahead, babe.
No, so go ahead.
No, so I just want you guys to really understand how powerful that is, because if you are single, there is a reason why you are not attracting the right person. Now I'm going to get into your business for a second. I'm going to tell you that on the front end. I need y'all to hear me very clearly. What's up, Deb? Oh, she said, hola. Hey, Deb. Good to see you. Guys, listen, Rhea, thanks for putting that in. Thanks, Renee. Thanks for putting that in the chat. Tyler Wayne. Hey, Tyler, what's going on? Appreciate you for jumping on IG. Listen, I'm getting ready to get all up in your business, so just get yourself prepared. My question to you is, and we're going to use that as a springboard to go someplace, and then we're going to continue to unpack this over the next couple of weeks. My question to you is, you know who you are. You know what you value. You know what your vision is. And you are, on the path to getting to where you need to be. You know what the end game looks like, right? My question to you is, on that path, whatever that is, whatever your values are, whatever the finish line looks like, here's the question I have for you. And y'all can put this in the chat. Are you becoming the person you want to attract? I need that, y'all let that breathe. Listen to me. Are you becoming the person that you wish to attract? In other words, are you the person you would want to be with? Why are you laughing, Sheri?
Because I don't think people ever think of it that way. I don't think people think that I have to be who I want to be with. That, that I have to change. I just want Mr. Perfect, but I get to still be me.
And what was that?
He just supposed to be right. Who was that?
Yeah.
I was mean and nasty. I was disrespectful. I was a liar. I was a manipulator. But I didn't want to be with somebody like that. That's who I was.
Stop playing. So in your previous marriages, that's who you were. But if you had your druthers, you would have chosen not to be with a person like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to be with somebody like that.
So here's the question I have, guys. Listen to me, Instagram. Are y'all listening? Lean in, please. Why in the world would you expect to attract anything other than who you are?
Well, that's why the first 2 marriages didn't work. And so after my second marriage failed, I started doing some self-assessment.
Yep.
And started working on me and realizing where I was off and started working on changing those things long before you and I even met.
And again, it's the long before you and I even met, guys. That is why I can say, and I said this in the beginning, and I appreciate y'all hearting it up on Instagram. Look, guys, this is real talk. And when I look up and if I slow down a little bit and I think about where we've come to, I am super grateful that after 21 years, there is no desire in my bones to do life with anybody else. It doesn't mean that there aren't women out there who are more attractive than my wife. It doesn't mean that I don't see that. Hello. It doesn't mean that there are other people who have better stations in life than maybe my wife or are easier to deal with. That it doesn't. What this is about is that I have exactly what I built. We created what we have. And you can do the exact same thing, but it starts with you.
Right.
And that's why one of the things I want to encourage you, if you're single and you want to be a part of a community that's growing, a part of a community that is loving, a part of a community that is truthful, a part of a community where you can go on a date and try out some of these things that we're talking about, come back and talk about how'd that go and have us help you navigate through that, then you may need to be a part of our singles group. All my singles that are part of the MAP Singles Relationship Academy, put that in the chat, hashtag Singles Rock. Put that in the chat, hashtag Singles Rock. If you are already a part of our MAPS Relationship Academy as a single person, put in the chat, hashtag Singles Rock. You may want to become a part of this group in this community because what it's going to do is help strengthen and fortify your picker.
Right. And I think being in a community that helps you to focus on your flaws from a non-judgmental place.
Right.
I think oftentimes we don't realize that we have blind spots. We can't see ourselves the way that other people see us. You know, we have this perception of ourselves that unless you do self-assessment, unless you really take the time to look at yourself, if you're not introspective, you don't see, you know, your flaws.
Absolutely.
You know, we don't want to see our flaws.
Of course we don't.
And
We're
so,
human.
Right. And so you need to be in a community. You need to be around people who can share with you what they see, share it in love, not in a judgmental way, but then also help you learn how to make those changes, how to make those adjustments, and that'll encourage you along the way as you're growing.
So, guys, there are many things. We're going to do at least 5 or 6 of them. One we're going to do today, and it is the top things that you need to know in order to pick properly. Now, again, if you want to be a part of that singles community, again, go to www.thecrcoach.com. You'll schedule a free assessment. It's called a discovery session with us, and we will sit on, that's what it's called on the actual link. And so we'll jump on a call with you for about 15 minutes to see if you're a fit, and then we'll go from there. But here's one thing, and we're going to give you a couple of tips. You know, I know I got a good 5 or 6 of them. We may have more, but we're definitely going to unpack this as we go. Here's a great tip when it comes to picking a good partner. Now, I have a favorite quote that I use often. I was doing some research and I saw it kind of said another kind of way. But it goes back to something that I've been saying for years. People will tell you exactly who they are. It's up to you to listen. Here's a tip. People will tell you, when people tell you who they are, believe them. The first time.
The first time.
That's Maya Angelou said that, and I'm gonna tell you something right now that is critical. Here's what I mean when I say that, Sheri. You tell me who you are based on what you do, not what you say.
Right.
So I don't have to wait for you to tell me who you are.
Right, if I watch you.
If I pay attention long enough, and we got some tips that's going to help support this as we go along, but if I pay attention to you long enough, I can tell exactly who you are because people do what they are.
Right, right.
If that, I know that's not correct English, but that's exactly how human beings operate.
Right. It's funny you said it because I've heard people say, well, they never said that. They never said they didn't want this, or they never said they didn't want to do this. But did they ever show you any indication that that's something they were interested in?
Right.
Did they ever show you any indication that they were going to be supportive of you?
Right.
In that way? If they can't support you, if they never showed you support in the little things, what makes you think they would support you in the big things? But they never said they would. They never said they wouldn't. Did you pay attention to what they were doing? Did you pay attention to how they roll? Let me tell you something right now. I can tell how a person cares about financial freedom based on how they roll. Right. You don't have to say a word to me. I can tell by the things, I can watch what you spend money on to tell how much money either has a hold of you or money is a tool for you. Right. What's happening, D? So my ex-wife just jumped on Instagram. Deirdre, they need to hear from you. I know I'm putting you on the spot. She is a straight turtle, y'all. And she may not talk much. But my ex-wife is on Instagram, and that's my friend. And that's Sheri's friend. And we're talking about, D, what it looks like to pick properly. You are in a incredibly successful marriage now. Yes. You and Darren have been married. It's got to be close to 20 years, D. Put it in the chat for me. How long you and Darren been married now? It's 18 years, maybe? 17, 18, 19, something like that. But the point I'm making is that my ex-wife is on Instagram. And the truth of the matter is that we had to learn how to pick properly. And until you get to that place, as a single person, you will keep picking wrong. Right. It's going to happen. So even when you said that, Sheri, one of the things that just jumped out at me is that we often see what people do and we ignore it. We either make excuses for it, or maybe we, quite frankly, we embrace it, but we think to ourselves, oh, that's going to change. Oh, he going to change that. And let me say this. If I'm watching you frivolously run through your money, right? Why do I think that you'll care about mine? Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, think about that for a second. I'm watching you live from paycheck to paycheck. You can't save to save your life. Right. Why would I think you would do that if you had more? Right, right. Or this is one that it baffles me beyond, I can't understand this at all. So you get involved with somebody, ladies, you get involved with a man. He has children. From previous relationships. This is a good one. But he's not involved with his children at all. He may pay child support because the courts make him, but he doesn't make any effort to be involved in their lives at all. She blocking me. That's what he said. Right, but he ain't making no effort. He ain't petitioning the court. He not doing nothing. He don't, nothing. He just, they with their mother. Hey. He don't have no involvement whatsoever. He doesn't press the issue. Right. He's not motivated to do anything in regards to that. But then you don't understand why either he doesn't want to have more children, or if you have children from a previous relationship, why he's not being a father to your children. Come on now. Or even if you guys have children together, why now he's not being a father. Prissy Painter on YouTube said, run away. Girl, let me tell you something. High five, sis. High five. Run as fast as you can because, Sheri, what you said is that he's showing you better than he can tell you on who he is. Right. And the thing that baffles me about this, and this is a pet peeve of mine, you have a child. You get involved with somebody who has children that's not involved with his children. Why? In the ham sandwich. In the ham sandwich, would you get involved with the person who doesn't have a relationship with their own children? When you have a child, so when you guys come together, your child is a part of that equation. Blended family. But he doesn't deal with his own kids. But you let's be honest, ladies, when you get remarried or you get married with your child, you're looking for somebody to be a father to your child. Even if their father is involved, you're still looking for somebody to be a father figure
Right.
for them in the home.
Right.
So why get in a relationship with somebody who has shown you that they're not a father?
It's because you're not clear on what you value, or you're not clear on your vision, or you're not clear on what the victory looks like.
He good to you, though.
See, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now, y'all already know that ain't enough. Listen, we got to jump off today. I've got a ton of things happening, and we're gonna cut the show short. But next week, we're gonna jump on and we're gonna keep unpacking this. I want you guys to do me a favor. It's been there. That's why I'm divorced. I've been there. That's why I'm divorced. I hear you, Lanique, if I pronounce that correctly. That absolutely true. Guys, I'm telling you right now, if your picker is broken, it can be fixed.
Yes, it can be.
If you are single, there is someone out there, I believe, and you desire to be married, that God has for you. I think that part of the challenge is the reason why you've not discovered it is several fold, but one of them has to do with the amount of work that you're doing in this area on yourself,
right.
Being patient with the process, and find yourself doing more than you're looking. Listen to me carefully, guys. When I discovered Sheri, I was not looking for her. I'm going to submit this, and she'll say the same about me. When I met Sheri initially, I wasn't even attracted to her.
I ain't like you either. And
that's real talk. For me, I could go into a litany of reasons of why. She just wasn't, quote, my type. And I clearly wasn't her type. No. But we became friends while not looking for each other. Mm-hmm. And then one day it dawned on us, a light bulb came on and said, wait a minute, you cool. No, you real cool. No, I don't see myself not being around you. Like, we talking all the time and we not even sleeping together. Right. Come on, let's just keep it 100. Right. You good people. Right. Like, what would it look like for me to be with this kind of person for the rest of my life? Bruh, a light bulb came on and it dawned on me. Our values aligned. Mm-hmm. Our vision aligned. Mm-hmm. And the finish line, or the victory for us, was extremely similar. We both came to the relationship saying, you know what? The way we screwed our relationships up in the past, we're not doing that again. Us two, we're going to grow old together. That's why I'm gray and bald. And I own it. Don't tell me I'm getting better. I'm old. Don't even put that in the chat. Nah, you just getting better. Yeah, okay, I'm getting better, but I'm also old. Right. And we have grown old together. Guys, if you can, do me a huge favor. Send us out. Tag somebody and let them know. Singles, it's possible for you to get your picker fixed. And I want to help you guys do that. 21 years, man. January 30th. The countdown is on. And I would not rather be doing life with anybody else, babe. Give me some sugar. Listen, y'all be good. At the end of the day, here's what I know to be true. We all need some help. We'll talk soon. We'll see y'all next week.